What's up, gang? Chris Cart's back through the mail Monday. Hope everyone had a great weekend. 5 returns for you today. Our first one coming from Mr. Joe Morgan. No, not that Joe Morgan. In fact, they'd call him Turnpike Joe and Walpole Joe. They gave him those nicknames during his managerial career because they didn't want to confuse him for the other Joe Morgan. Signed very nicely there. 89 Topps Rediscover card, which is always funny to see those buybacks of commons. Red Sox manager from 88 to 91. Pretty good with the Red Sox. Won 2 AL East championships with them. Knocked out of the ALCS both times by Oakland. Fired in 91 after actually doing pretty good for a Red Sox team that wasn't supposed to do that good. And his replacement ended up finishing dead last the next year. Nice signatures there from Mr. Joe Morgan. Played 13 seasons in the minors, kind of as an infielder. He did really good in the minors. He was a great AAA player. He just could not crack it in the big leagues. 4 seasons in the bigs, 88 total games, 193 average, not that great. Started his managerial career in 1970 with the Pirates and their farm system. There's his information. Of course, that's why they call him Walpole Joe. He spent his entire life in Walpole. Every time I think about that, I think about Mickey Donovan and all the years he spent locked up there in Walpole prison. They called him Turnpike Joe because in the offseason he drove a plow on the Massachusetts Turnpike, just in case you were wondering where that nickname came from. Joe Morgan. On to the next return. Omaha, Nebraska. This return, not too many returns from the Midwest. Let's see who is inside the envelope. We've got Russ Snyder. Russ Snyder, all right, 1966 World Series champion with the Orioles. Had a great series, saved quite a few games in that run with his glove. Very good outfielder. Signed very nicely there in blue Sharpie. Russell Snyder, 2 S's, 2 L's. Goes by Russ. Check out that return. A very nice 12 total years in the bigs, 7 of those with Baltimore. Finished 3rd in the Rookie of the Year balloting for the American League in 1959 behind eventual winner Bob Allison and Jim Perry. NL winner that year was Willie McCovey in a landslide. Started his career with the Yanks in 1958, bouncing around their organization until he ended up on the Orioles for that nice 7-year stretch. There's his information. Still makes his home in Nebraska. That's where he was born and raised. And that's it, my friends. On to the next return. Return numero tres comes to us from Ken Suarez of Texas. Fort Worth, Texas, to be exact. Another address label for me to save. Let's rip into this. Make sure I save that address label. Don't rip into it like I've done accidentally before. He was a catcher, primarily a backup catcher, for 7 seasons in the bigs with the Indians, the Texas Rangers, and the Kansas City Athletics. In fact, he was a member of the inaugural Texas Rangers in 1972 after they moved from Washington Senators to become the Texas Rangers. Signed very nicely there. I think I asked for an inscription. I did not get it. That's fine. He still signed a grip of cards for me. Very nice. 72 right there. Super great return from Mr. Ken Suarez. In the offseason, while playing baseball, he worked for the Sheriff's Department down there in Florida, working with juvenile offenders and trying to keep them on a straight and narrow path. Member of Florida State University. In fact, he's in their Hall of Fame. He went on to scout after his playing career was over. In fact, scouted for Rafael Palmeiro, Will Clark, when they played for Mississippi State. Very happy to see them two both get drafted in the first round. He was a very, very good scout. Of course, those two were kind of being scouted by everybody back in the day. And there you go, guys. Ken Suarez. On to our 4th return. Here we go. Grand Junction, Colorado. Let's see who we have in envelope number 4. And we have Lee Stevens. Lee Stevens, a former California Angel. He was supposed to be the heir apparent to Wally Joyner. Did not quite work out that way. Spent 10 years in the bigs. 4 with the Rangers, 3 with the Expos, and 3, of course, with the Angels. Signed a grip cards here very nicely in blue Sharpie. Had an up and down beginning of his career, but settled in. Ended up having 5 consecutive 20-plus home run seasons. Turned out to be a pretty good little player. Very nice return here from Lee Stevens, who is AWOL right now from signing. Lucky to get these. Address currently unknown. Unfortunately, but he'll resurface. Was a hitting coach for the Yard Goats a couple years ago. No longer with them either, so we'll see if Lee resurfaces here in the next few months, hopefully. And let's move on to our last return of the day. All right, gang, big finish. Tacoma, Washington / Olympia, Washington. My neck of the woods, the Pacific Northwest. Who can this be to finish off through the mail Monday, number 122? It is going to be Wes Stock. Wes Stock, pride of Longview, Washington. Former Washington State Cougar. And he signed these cards very nicely with a thin black Sharpie. Wes Stock played 9 years in the Bigs. 6 of those with the Orioles. 4 of those with the Kansas City Athletics. He was a big-time reliever. Lots of relief appearances. Only a handful of starts. Went on to coach after his career. Was a pitching coordinator for the 68 and 69 World Series Championship Mets. Or at least they won it all in 1969. And there you have it, guys. Wes Stock. All right. Lakewood, Washington now is his home. And he signed my cards. And he'll probably sign yours too if you so desire to have them signed. There we go, guys. Through the mail Monday, number 122 in the books. Hope everyone enjoyed it. Hit that subscribe button in the bottom right-hand corner. I do this every single week, every single Monday. Have for a couple years now and enjoy doing it. Would love to have you along for the ride. Very nice returns. Joe Morgan, Ken Suarez, look at all those cards. Lee Stevens, Wes Stock. Very nice. Very nice beginning to the week. Hope everyone had a fantastic weekend. And I don't have much more to say other than that. Thanks, guys, for watching. Really appreciate it. Comment down below. Let me know what you thought of this week's returns. And as always, I will see you again at least next Monday. Thanks, guys, for watching. See ya.